Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we are looking at Helium. So grab your oxygen masks. Hello. Howdy do. If you are watching on Facebook, welcome aboard. Look over there, see the little link? You can go to the Facebook website, We All Rise Together. That is the Facebook link. You can also come over and watch the show here on the YouTube at youtube.com/Jade Starr, or you can watch the show in the browser at howtoappoниos.com. Plus, we stream every day live to the Twitch at twitch.tv/howtoappoниos. That's all that stuff out the way. Hello to the folks in the chat. Hello Sai, hello Panda Git, hello Tom Rochelle, hello Maury, hello Rebecca. I hope you're doing well. Hello Bubba, everyone doing well. Hope you're all doing well today. Right, let's have a look at, jump straight into any new or not new apps, but apps that may have dropped in price, because that's what we do here on this show.
It's time to look at the price drops. Pull up your pants and get excited and open your wallets.
Wasn't that foolish? Yeah, so that's what this show's all about, being foolish. Hello, Jamie Melander. Good to see you too. So, Camelot Pro is on sale at the moment from $28.99 down to $19.99. Swam. So look, the Swam French horn. So all of the Swam instruments, I do believe, have come down from their crazy price of $29.99 to $19.99. All right, so they're all on sale. Why are the Swam instruments on sale? Because Swam Audio Modeling have just dropped the Swam Strings apps. They are now all on sale and out of beta, and they're down to $19.99 as well for an introductory price. So if you are looking at those, now's the time to get those. I will be doing a show on those towards the end of this week or early next week. I'm probably going to do a show on each of the four. Count them. There's four. There's a double bass, there's a violin, there's a viola, and viola, potato, and there is a cello. So there's four instruments. Hello to Russ, and Pete Johns. Hello, Pete Johns. Hello, Notterbox. Good to see you all. So Digistix is on sale. We'll be using Digistix in today's demonstration of Helium. So yeah, all the Swams are on sale. They're not showing up here. Loopverse is down from $6.99 to $9.99. That's a bargain. And I think there's a couple of other 4 pockets. So Drum Surgeon, which I've done a show on in the past, you can look that up. Analyzer and Tuner is on sale too. So there's a few apps on sale at the moment. But today we are looking at Helium by 4 pockets. What is Helium? Helium is really cool. So if you're aware of Atom, which came out, Atom 2, which came out a little while ago, which is a like step sequencer piano roll that you can open up as an AUv3 in things like Cubasis or AUM. This is now it's, just to be clear, this isn't a copy of Atom. This is something completely different. So it's kind of similar but completely different. So be aware of that. And Helium. I can't remember how much Helium actually is. Oh, I forgot. I've got to write Helium 4 pockets. There we go. Helium. Maybe somebody can help me out with the price in the chat, or I can just quickly go back and have a look at it. So the beautiful thing about the difference I find between the two off the bat with Helium against Atom 2, I find Atom 2 is really fully featured with a whole lot of things that I might not necessarily need or use. but it is very, it's the more it's updated, it's getting more and more features added to it, where Helium has a lot of simplicity to compared to it, and it's just some, I think it's a little bit easier, you know, for me. So, but they're both good. So I recommend if you're into this kind of thing. So thank you very much, Sai. So $9.99 is the price for it, and I'm going to let you know off the bat, I have 2 copies to give away. So as usual, just make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I do see that only 78% of you subscribe, something like that anyway. So do subscribe and just leave a comment on this video once it goes live, and 2 lucky people will win a copy of this wonderful app. Now, you will see here, I don't have it installed on my iPad. See the little cloud thing? So I have to be upfront. I'm using the current beta of this. Okay, so you know, because there's a whole lot of features that are in the beta at the moment that haven't been released yet, and I would like to show you those. Hello to Doug, who is here now in the chat. Hello to Ivan, welcome aboard. And speaking of Doug, Doug did a show on this last week, and he really went to the extreme and put 16 tracks in this thing to really try and push it to its limit, and it had some problems. So there were some little bugs and issues with it, with notes being held and going on too long, and one of the tracks lost its sounds. But I can assure you that these bugs have been fixed in this latest beta that I have. So today we're going to show you that. But just so you know, this current version doesn't have some of the things that I'm about to show you, but I'm guessing in the next few days it will be updated and have those features. Okay, cool. So we've covered all of that. Now, let's open it up. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways you can open it. You can open it as a standalone app, all right? It's not really much use because, you know, you can draw in your patterns and all that stuff, but, you know, using it as an AUv3 is the way you really want to go with it. That's where you're going to get the most use out of it. But I'm going to show you why it's handy to have it as a standalone. So let's open up this sucker. And normally when you open it up, what it tells you is a little pop-up comes up letting you know that this can be opened as a standalone, but it's best as an AUv3, exactly what I just told you. So a pop-up will tell you that. But what I want to show you here just off the bat is one of the features of this wonderful app is this little section up in the top right-hand corner called Files. So you can open this up and you can actually import MIDI clips and MIDI songs in here. So you can go and pull MIDI files into here. All right, so you can actually, and this is like a little bay you can save your clips in. So you can see I've already got some clips in here. Now, when this first came out, when it was first released, it didn't come with any clips inside it. So if you first purchased this on version 1.0, there were no clips in here. And on the next version, Paul added from 4 Pockets 7,000 plus clips into this. But what he's done is he's given you the option, so when you update you won't get the clips, right? Because just say you've saved a whole lot of clips yourself in here, so if you updated it and he had put all these new clips, it would override all your clips, right? So he's given you the option to import these. So I just want to show you off the bat, how do you import these? And how you do it is down here you can actually connect. It's got a little fantastic option down here. So when you click on this, it lets you set up a web transfer. So, and I've got this already set up. So when you click on web transfer, it comes up with a box saying, what would you like to transfer? And I'm going to pick MIDI clips, followed by this box to type this into your browser. So I've already done this. So let's jump over to my Mac. And here is my Mac. And this is the page it will open. So once you type this into your browser up here, it takes you straight to these MIDI clips. And here they all are if I scroll down. And now you can import all 7,000 plus of these clips into your Helium, right? So that's the way Paul's done it. Or you can just uninstall the app and then reinstall the updated version if you're on the first version, and it'll just automatically add these clips in. Like you can see sitting here right now, they're already actually in here. So that's the standalone version. We're going to open this up in AUM now and show you how to use it in AUM, and then we're going to start by showing you these MIDI clips and dragging them in and seeing how cool they are, yeah? So let's shut that sucker down, close it all out, and open up AUM, and I'm going to have a vape. I'm vaping today Neapolitan ice cream. So delicious. All right, so what we're going to do to open up Helium to get the most use out of this is the way you actually do it, is you want to open it up when you're in AUM. Whenever you press the plus here. Hello, Brad. Welcome to the chat too. Is there anyone else I've missed who's popped in? I don't think so. Hello, Brad. So you click on the plus and you get an option of audio and MIDI. To use this, you want to select MIDI, and it creates a MIDI track. Then from there, you can click on the MIDI track and you click this top one, Audio Unit MIDI Processor. Do a quick search for it, Helium. There it is. And there is your MIDI. So here is Helium in here. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these buttons, where everything is. Actually, we'll create a track first. Okay, so the beautiful thing about Helium is within this sequencer, you can actually create 16 tracks. All right, so think of this like GarageBand if you're creating 16 tracks. What's really fantastic about this, over here in your top left hand corner, you've got this little track button. When I click on that, you are presented with 16 tracks. When I click like to track 2, this creates a track 2. So you can actually create 16 wonderful tracks like it is a DAW, yeah? If you're new to this kind of thing. So this is really fantastic for those who are using AUM and want to use it more like a DAW, yeah? So I'm going to create a track in here and actually put an instrument into this one track just for an example, and then we'll go ahead and I'll show you a bigger thing that I've made later on. So we're going to hit the plus, hit audio. Now I'm just going to choose pure piano just as a basic. Let's do a search for pure piano. Cool, there's pure piano. So how do we link pure piano to Helium so we can actually hear what's going on and it's all connected to it? The first things first, up here you've got these little hamburger ellipsis thing here. You click on this and you want to scroll all the way to the bottom. And here are your 16 MIDI channels, right? So straight away you want to click none. So disassociate it completely with all the MIDI channels and then click 1. So now this is telling Helium that this piano will be going on track 1. So solely this is just going to track 1. The next step we want to do is choose this Helium port 1. Now you get 4 ports with each instance of Helium, right? So within each port, you can add 4 tracks in Helium, right? So as I said, there's 16 tracks. So think of it this way: 4 tracks, 4 tracks, 4 tracks, 4 tracks, right? Hope you're following along. So I'm going to choose there. So now that is sending across to Helium track 1, and it's all connected, the MIDI, so just the piano is going to that track. Now I have the option over here to play that keyboard with my Audio key step, or I can use the keyboard built in, so I can select both of these. Yep. Now let's open up Helium. So we're on track 1, and now when I press my keyboard, all good. So that's playing now into Helium. So if I start recording, it's going to start. If I start playing, hit record, it'll start appearing in this piano roll. But you'll notice if I go back here to where the tracks are and choose track 2 and start playing my keyboard, there's nothing there. All right, nice and simple. So again, if I was going to create another instrument, I would do the same method as what I just did with pure piano. Go down to the MIDI, choose MIDI channel 2, and then send that over to track 2, right? So, but we're just to start off and show you one track just for the basics. We have piano in here. So before anything else, let's kick off just by showing you this little files bay up here, which we kicked off with in the standalone. So when I open this up, yeah, and I click on clips, you'll see down here I've got pretty much every key. So we've got a major C to A minor, D to, so we've got everything in here. When you click on these, you get options of triads, sevenths and ninths, all chords, or a progression. So just to kick off, hello Joe, how are you going? Jesus. Let's go back to full screen. So I'm going to choose a progression, and you can choose major, minor. As I said, there's 7,000 plus MIDI clips in here, so you can go to your heart's content. Let's just choose a minor. Look at all this stuff. You've got like an alt 4 style, basic 4, hip hop styles. Let's just grab one at random. So this A, and you drag it into your project. Get to the start, let it go, and look at that, instant chords. Lovely jubbly. So I can go in here now and grab a totally different one, and drag this in behind, and there we go. We've already got a song kicking off here. How cool is that? So if we hit a play, so if you're particularly not good at writing songs, right, you have all these chords. You have 7,000 plus chords that you can just add in here and go for your life. Trial and error, you can delete them, remove them, and find your patterns. Oh, look, it's a wonderful little feature that Paul's added in here. So yeah, mess around with that. Right, let's close the bay just for now that we've got, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I closed the whole thing. Let's close the little media bay up the top. So you can get to those files anytime, top right hand corner, close them. Pretty cool stuff. Let's have a look at the interface now. So the first thing I'm going to suggest doing is, as you'll notice there's a transport across the top here, yeah? So you've got rewind, play, record, loop, sync, and remote. So as you saw, I can rewind, bring it back to the start in here and hit play. That's all good, but we're in AUM. So you've got the option to actually sync up this to AUM's clock. And it's really easy to do. There's a little sync button here. And all you need to do is click on it. And now AUM's controls up here control everything. Simple. Lovely. But look at that. Keeps going. I want to get some looping and stuff, but we're going to get to that. And I can change the tempo in here as well. So now that it's synced up to AUM, I can change the tempo. It's very slow. Yes. You can bring it back up to whatever tempo you want, because it's all synced up to AUM. Let's bring it back to 120. Lovely jubbly. You can, add your click track now. And you can set a count in just like you would in AUM. So it's really nice. Let's turn off the click track. We don't need it right now. But you just got to remember, once you've hit sync over here, it's all connected to AUM. So stopping and going back is all done through there. Alrighty, let's have a look at the rest of these options along the top here. So you've got a record button. So if I actually want to record something into here, I click record here. And now it's set to record, right? And say I want to record something after this set of patches here. This is one of the most important things you want to get used to playing with. So as you see, I drag across the timeline here and it creates this little line. So this is your little loop bar. So you can set this however long you want and create a loop. So I'm going to set it the same. Let's just do so 4. And now you can grab it and move it along wherever you want, right? So I would just want to add in something after this. So I've set record. I've got it all synced up. So now all I really need to do, if I want to play some piano in here, is just hit play. Oops. Let me just stop that. So you want to hit loop. So there we go. So now that you've set this little loop area here, you just click on loop. And what's good, when you go back, it'll just keep playing over this loop. So now if I hit play, it's recording. And if I turn on the click track just to give us a... And this is just going to keep going over and over. And I can go... put anything I want in there. And it just keeps going over and over. So I can hit stop. And there you go. Really easy to play into this. So you can create these loops. I can make this a little bit longer if I want. I can make it how long I want. Yeah. So we'll leave that back to where it was. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's just move away from these options here for a second, and we'll turn off this. Let's have a look at the stuff down the side here. We'll go from the top down to the bottom. So you've got a menu section up here, which has a whole bunch of things. So you can actually zoom in on notes. You've got an auto scroll. So if your song's moving along and it gets to the end, it'll auto scroll for you, so you can understand what's happening. Yeah, that's my morning jazz, Jamie, I call that. That's morning jazz, right? At 8 a.m. in the morning. Wonderful stuff there. Oh, I'm going to delete that crap in a minute. It's the reason I did that, so I can show you the delete. So you can play edited notes. So when you're adding notes and deleting notes, you can actually have them play when you touch them. So that's what that is. So you can change your sample rate, you can randomize stuff. And what's really good, if you get lost in this, you do have a wonderful help menu. Look at this. Paul has really put in a lot of work into this help menu. And we all love a good help menu. Look at that. It's got beautiful diagrams in it. It's really, and I love how, like, if there's a warning, he's made it quite glaringly obvious to pay attention to certain things. So there's a really deep, and it's not too long either. Well, you know, and it's even got some Q&A at the end, if you like Q&A kind of stuff. So that's there as well. Nice and cool. As we covered at the beginning, here's your track section for your 16 tracks. Morning jazz. So we're on track 1. So that's how you move between your tracks. Here is another thing too. If you see a little arrow next to any of these buttons, if you hold down on them, you get a whole bunch of extra, like, additional things. So here you can invert the colors, you can change the contrast. So you've got a whole bunch of things here. When I hold down on the tracks here, you get these other options here, and this one I'm going to show you a little bit more about soon, this ghosting. So basically, if you've got, say, 4 tracks, you can show the other tracks that are not available to you as little transparent tracks. It's a really cool feature. Again, here's the edit button, which we're going to look at now. Again, it's got a little arrow next to it. When you press it once, it gives you the option to edit things, drag your mouse or your finger, whatever you want, to draw things in. See, I can draw things in. I can make things, do long clips, all this kind of stuff with my finger or with the mouse. Hello, Desolate. Welcome to the chat. But if I hold my finger down on it, again, you get the option to paint or draw. And the difference between painting and drawing, I will show you. So I've clicked paint now, and when I go here, you'll notice it's doing individual notes. It's putting a whole lot of notes all together, where draw just draws one long note, however long you want it. Hello, Ed B, welcome along. So that is the difference between your edit button. Again, you just hold down and then you can go back to draw. So that's really handy. Looks super good if you want to, say you're doing some death metal drums and you want to do a whole lot of really fast kicks together. You can use the paint and just draw them in really quickly. So that's that. Then you've got a select button, fairly standard stuff. When you're on the select, guess what you can do? You can select. So now all of those are selected, nice and easy, and you can see they change to a little. You see these little, it's like a little color change that you can see that you've selected it. And I want to remove all these. So obviously, what are you going to do? Delete. There's a little delete button there. Really easy to select stuff. You can draw with your finger. You can use your mouse. Or if you hold down on the select, again, it's got one of those little buttons. You can select all from here. You can invert selections, remove selections, looper selections. So again, you've got lots of options within the options. Plus, let's undo that delete, because your undo is really good too. You get a whole, the undo's got a lot of memory, so you can undo a whole bunch of things. So let's undo that and bring back all these notes here. So I might want to copy some of these, yeah? So let's move this a little bit further down. And I want to do some copying. So with the clipboard, you can see you've got all your stuff here. Cut, copy, so all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to select all of this with my finger. Now that they're selected, I can go to the clipboard, hit copy, and then I can bring back my marker here, and I can just go back to the clipboard and hit paste. Nice and easy, yeah? I hope everybody's following along. This is pretty basic stuff. In your clipboard, you can duplicate. Just be aware, if you are duplicating, you really need to move your, you really want to move your thingamajig. So if I hit duplicate, because what it does, it puts it exactly where your marker is. Now you'll see when I'm duplicated there, it put it right where my marker was, which was sitting here, but it's only moved one down. So you've got to be aware of that, because if you hit duplicate again, this is what happens. Oh no, it worked. Look at that. Hey Doug, it's been fixed. Look, it worked. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Look at it. It worked. I thought that wasn't working. Is that right? This is what we were talking about earlier. So there you go. You can duplicate really simply. Look at that. Lovely jubbly. So there you go. You can duplicate really simple. I really like that. I thought that wasn't working. I thought there was an issue with. He must have done that in the latest update. I don't know. All right. So to get rid of all of these, and you can pinch at any time to stretch out. You can stretch the other way as well. So just with finger pinches. So now I'm going to select all of this because I don't want any of this crap. And again, just over to delete, and guess what? All gone. Easy. Paul's on the case. On you, Paul. Good stuff. Alrighty. So, yeah, he's doing a really good job. And now, I know I said this was a beta at the start, but I think this is pretty close to being the finished product, yeah? Because he's really got everything polished. There's not too many problems going on at the moment. Cool. So we've seen all this stuff up here, got a basic understanding of what's going on there. And we've seen the undo button in action, right? So let's just undo again and bring all that back. Now, if you hold down on it, look at this. Again, you get these extra options. You can delete all and delete all the undo history if you're like mental, or you can redo and get rid of it. So you've got the option to redo and undo. So don't panic about that stuff. Also, as you know, I said at the beginning, there's 16 tracks you can have per instance, right? So this is one instance of Helium. So get thinking about this. So if I created another instance of Helium in here with 16 tracks, then I can create another one here That means I could have 32 tracks. Then I could create another instance of Helium and have another 16 tracks and another 16 tracks. So the possibilities are quite endless, and it's a very lightweight program. It just depends on how many instruments you have, how much pressure you're going to put on your iPad. But the capabilities to have, 100 tracks is possible with only, a few instances of Helium set up as a MIDI, right? So let's open this back up again. Now, as you know, 16 tracks, which you get to up here. Yeah, so we've got 1 to 16. You can actually control these tracks because there's a mixer down here. Paul's actually included a mixer. So when you bring up this little mixer, which I do believe, you can't actually drag it around, so it sits in the middle. And it's a very basic mixer, right? So it's just got a mute and solo. Got to remember to turn those off. Oh fuck, have I still got it soloed? All good. You can rename tracks. So just by, I think, just holding down on it. I can go in here and call this pure piano, so you know exactly what's happening. Hit OK. Cool bananas. And you can change the volume, and so you can do these short mixes in here of all your tracks going on, instead of having to do it over in your tracks here in AUM. So it's really a nice feature to have a little mixer in there. And to get rid of your mixer, all you need to do is just click the mixer button and it's gone. Right, so let's bring back this little loop section here, and we'll stretch it out to these chords here, and we'll hit sync. So we're all synced back up again. If we go back to the start here, why are we not doing that? There we go. So now we're back in a loop with these imported MIDI clips that I just dragged in earlier. And as you'll see, it'll go back to the start. It'll just keep looping around. Cool. So, but wait, there's more. Down the bottom here, this final little option here called controller. Check out this. This is where the magic happens. There's a lot of magic down here in this little section. So if you click on this, it brings up your options for velocity and stuff. So as you can see, each note, these chords here, they've all been assigned a velocity, and I can drag the velocity for this. I can just click on it and just pull it down or up. Really easy to do. You can do it with a mouse. If I can do it with my mouse, there we go. So, and you'll see as I'm going up and down with the velocity, you can see the colors of the actual notes changing. Nice stuff. So color representation, because I did see a few people like in other videos say, I don't like the colors of the fucking notes. The colors are there for a specific reason, yeah? They're there for a reason, to show you the velocities. Now I'm just going to zoom in. Speaking of velocities, let's zoom in here. So let's have a look at these individual notes. So we'll deselect everything and we'll just select this note here. You can grab the end of this. Let's just zoom in even more so you can see nice large representation. So you can see they've got these little arrows on the end here. So if I grab the end of this, I can stretch out these notes, yeah? Plus, if I grab hold of the end of it and move up and down, see the colors change as well? And you can see down the bottom here, where the velocity is, the colors, the length of it is changing as well. See that? And you get to see the other notes that are underneath. So you've got multiple options for changing the velocity of these. Let's just bring it back up to the rest of them. And if you want to move them, you just place it anywhere on the rest of the file. If you want to undo, send it back to where it was, everything's good. So you can do that with all your notes. So that's nice, easy to edit stuff there. Now within this velocity feature down here, and you can go along here and change all of these velocities. If I click it again, you will see a absolute shitload of stuff here you can do. So you've got pitch bend, after touch, CC banked selects, modulation, breath, foot controls, volume, balance, panning. look at all this stuff. You've got plenty of options in here. Attack times, variations, resonance. There's a hell of a lot of options in here. Paul's really made this as feature packed as possible. All right. But I'm not going to go into all this because, you know, we only have a short amount of time. But yeah, just be aware that there's a hell of a lot of options within this little section here. But let's have a look too. So you've got an edit and select down in here as well. So we're currently on select. So you can actually draw over a whole bunch of these. And once they're selected, you can pull them all down at once, right? So you can change the velocity in here, or you can select all of them up here. Say we go up the top here and select all of these with a draw. And then you can go in and change the velocities of all of them up here as well. Yeah. So that's really cool. Let's bring them back down there. So multiple ways to change the velocities and all of the other fantastic stuff you've got down the bottom here. Hello, shake guitar. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. All right. And again, if you hold down the select, you get these added options like select all, remove selection, invert selection, loop to selection. So, and again, if we click on this, this is your edit to actually edit things. And if you hold down, you do get a few more options. So you get like a draw and a paint. You also get an erase button and a line button. So you can actually hit, where are we? My options. I've forgotten how to do this. I don't want to do that. I've forgotten how to bring the little time thing up. Do you do it in here? So you've got a clipboard as well, so you can copy and paste these. So it's all pretty much the same as what you've got up here. So you've got a copy, paste, duplicate, but I can't. And you can quantize as well, because we haven't covered much quantizing yet, but we'll get back up to the top ASAP. So I think it's in here. Is it? Oh God, I can't remember how to do it. That's the one thing I can't remember. Do you remember how to do it, Doug? How to bring up the little timeline? I can't fucking remember. But I know you can do it. I'll probably work it out soon. Controller. I thought it was in here. I thought there was an options thing. But maybe I'm stupid. Not maybe, I am. All right. So, is it long hold? No, that gives you long hold. Oh, long hold controller. Ah, there we go. Thank you. Thank you, Doug. Cool beans, mate. So yeah, if you long hold on the controller, so that brings it down, brings it up. If you long hold, I don't know why I didn't think of that. You can actually add a show ruler. So you can put a ruler across the top here, which matches up here. Nice, just another nice little feature. Long hold again, you can actually expand the height. So you've got a little bit more room if you're blind like me. Can't see, mate. So that's really cool as well. So you can just see more of what you're doing. And you can hide these as well. You can hide guides as well. So, and you can show guides too. So there you go. That's just, we're going to come back to this shortly with the velocity, because I'm going to show you song mode. But let's just go across the top here. You also have your beat and time, so your bars, seconds, minutes, so you can change between those. If you don't want to do beats, you can change to that. If you long hold on this too, you get the option of inserting beats and removing beats. Yeah, you can change your tempo here. At the moment, you'll see I've got it synced to AUM. So to change the tempo, I do it through AUM. See you later, not a box. I do realize it is late, but thanks for hanging out. You can change your time signature. So you can go from left to right, and you can see across the ruler. So you got 6/4, 7/4, 8/4. Is that it? I think it goes to 8/4, and you can go back 4/4, 3/4, 2/4, 1/4. So you've got time signatures in there as well. Nice little touch. You've got your grid here, so you can change the amount of points on your grid for, like, you know, stretching out your notes and stuff. So I've just changed it to 64. So that's, you know, typical kind of features that you see. And you've got a quantize button too. So to set a quantize, so if you're playing keyboard into here, it will, you know, quantize and make you sound better than what you fucking are. And there's lots of options in there too. When I hit quantize, all of that same kind of stuff, triplets, 32, 16, 8. And if you hold down again, you can quantize all notes or just selected notes. So look, a hell of a lot of features in here, yeah? But you know what I really like about it? I don't know if you agree. Hopefully you're following along still. Everything seems nice and simple and easy, yeah? So it's all just laid out pretty, you know, if you've used a DAW before, you should understand a lot of this stuff, you know, with your beats and tempos, syncing things up, looping, all this kind of stuff. We're going to now open a project, and I will show you something I've pre-made, and we'll show you how to, we'll show you about the looping, and we'll show you song mode and stuff like that. So let's close this sucker. We'll delete this. And let's open up something that I created earlier. Now, it's not good, all right, because it's not meant to be good. Because it's not the quality of the performance. It's just to show you how to do this. So let's reverse back. And as you'll recall, we created a track, right? The piano track and a Helium track. So in this project, I've gone ahead and added another 2 instruments and assigned them like I did here. But as you'll see, I've assigned them to MIDI 2 and port 1. And so this is drums first, and you'll see when I click on here, it's been assigned to channel 1, Helium port 1. So remember, you can add 4 to each port, right? I'm pretty sure you can change it too. In this channel, this is I've added a bass track. So this is going to track 2, as I pointed out. There you go. And I've got an instance of a digitalism running here. And when I click on this one, scroll to the bottom, this is being sent to track 3. And again, to Helium port 1. So now when I open up Helium, let's just go in here. Just move this there. Right. So here's track 1. This is drums. And if I open up this this little mixer down here, I'm just going to solo track 1 and hit play. And that's just looping, right? So we'll stop that. We'll shut this mixer down. Now if I go to up here, track 1, and change it to track 2, it changes to the bass, right? Now what you'll see this little ghosty kind of grey thing underneath here? This is track 1 as a little invisible track, so you can see what's going on underneath. And as I mentioned earlier, if you hold down on the track, you get this little option here to ghost. And I can turn this off, so now you can't see it. And if I move it, it can show you so what's underneath, so you can actually see, just to know what's going on. So it's a really nifty little feature. So now if I go back to this mixer and solo track 2 and hit play, you'll hear cool, yeah? Still following on? Just trying to take it as slow as possible. Now, if I click up here and go to track 3, I've added this synth in here as well. And again, I can, with track 3, I can go over and I can add these ghost notes in here as well, so you can see the drums, or I can add the bass line in here if I want. Yeah, it's just really nice to have them and see them under there. So now let's go back to our mixer here and solo track 3, and when we hit play, did I solo the right one? I don't think I soloed the right one. Okie doke, there you go. So as I said, you can have 16 tracks of this, so you can build up a whole song, right? Now let's get into looping and show you how to loop this stuff. So with this little loop bar that you can stretch back and forward and decide how long you want, I'm going to set this to 4 bars, right? So that's set there. Now you've got this great feature up here called remote, and when you click on the remote, you can create snapshots, right? So I'm going to go in here, click this. So now that it's selected, if I hold down on it, it brings up this little panel here, and what you can do is create snapshots of loops. So I want to make these 4 bars a snapshot, and to do so, you click on the little snap, and then choose one of these. So obviously we want to make it snap 1. So click on it again. Now these 4 bars are saved as a snapshot. Okay, and as we keep going here, you'll understand why snapshots are really cool. So let's just click off there. Now I'm going to move this to the next 4 bars. All right. With this, because this song's in C, and then it goes to an, I think it's a, is it F? I think that's what it is. I can't remember what I did. So I'm going to hold down this remote again and create another snapshot and do 2. So now I've created these snapshots. So now if I click between these 2, you see it's bouncing between these 2 different snapshots. Right? There you go. So if I hit play now, go back here and hit play. What snapshots allow you to do, you can assign these snapshots to a keyboard. So I can use a keyboard to actually flick between these 2 parts. All right. So let's do it with the actual the onboard keyboard. So I'm going to click this keyboard within AUM. So now let's just close this for a second. Bring up the keyboard here. Open up Helium. Let's make it a little bit smaller so we can see the keyboard underneath there. So what Helium has built into it, it already has keys that are assigned to these snapshots. So they start at C3. So, and I just got to do this, don't I? So that's sunk. Am I doing this right now? Right. So now that the remote's set, right? So I've gone from sync. So you can sync to actually the DAW, but when you click on remote and it's active, and I click down here, so see I'm on C3 at the moment, and if I move to the next note, it bounces between these 2 loops. So let's hit play. And this will just keep looping on snapshot 1, however long I want. Do ba da ba do ba da doom ba doom ba da doom ba da doom. Now if I hit the next note, watch what happens. You see this changes color, letting you know that at the end of this bar, and now I can go back to the C. So you can control your whole songs with these loops. And you can run all the way from C all the way up to C4. So basically 16 tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tracks, sorry. So that's super cool. Now if I scroll along here, whoops, I want to scroll and move to C5 and hit C. Whoops, what am I doing? It's C7, sorry. C7. Check this out. I can hold it down. As long as I'm holding it down, it'll play. And then when I let go, it'll stop. And I think the other one is C5. But I'm not going to go too much into all of this because all of this is in the instructions and we are running out of time. Now, see the difference with these ones was when you choose the C5, so you've got C3, C5 and C7. So if I choose C5 and hit play, what's going to happen when it gets to the end? It stops. So whereas when you're doing it from C3, it loops. So there's a whole lot of functionality built in here, yeah? All right, the last thing I'm going to show you today is possibly the coolest thing, and it's something that when I first saw it, I'm thinking, oh wow, this I wouldn't have thought to do this before. But if this could be something really cool to use instead of, this is an alternative to using your MIDI controller or your MIDI keys to control these loops, and it's called song mode. Yeah, song mode. Thank you very much, Ivan. For the super chat. So song mode, how do we get to song mode? So you hit controller down the bottom here, and where velocity is, you hold down on velocity and you've got an option song mode, and when you click song mode, it brings up this whole new area, right? And when it gives you this little section down here called loops, and when you press on it, it gives you a whole list of loops, so you can use 12 loops. This is replacing the keys which I just showed you. So if I select loop 1 and then I want to drag it into this timeline, I can actually that's selected, cool. So we select, I can draw in, why am I not doing it right? Select loop 1. Do I have to have this? I'm doing it right, kind of thing. I think loop type, loop. I can actually draw, there we go. So I can draw in how long I want a loop to go for. So let's just, so there's my first loop. I want this to go, let's go 5. Let's go 2. Yeah, I've got, I got there. Right, so now loop 1 is in here. Now I can go to loop 2, click on that, and I can draw in loop 2 and say we'll just make that go for 4 bars. And then I can go back to loop 1, select it, and draw it in here. So you can build your song down the bottom here. Now, when I go back to the start and hit play, it's all being controlled from this song mode instead of using a keyboard. So off we go. And you'll see it change up the top here to the next loop. Beautiful, yeah? So cool. Easy peasy. Now you'll see when it gets to the end, it just keeps going. How do we fix that? Well, if you head over to the loop types here and hold down, you see you get a whole bunch of different options. You get a gate, a loop, a play once, and a stop. So I'm going to select stop, and I'm going to draw in a stop here, just to let it know I want it to stop. So if we drag the marker, whoops, I didn't want to do that. Go away, delete. Do I delete from there? No. So I want to, you double click on it to get rid of it. Yeah. So now if we go back to the song here and play it, when it gets to the end, it's going to stop and not keep playing. Boo, da, ba, boo. Yeah, double tap to delete. I'll show you one more thing and then we'll wrap it up, because I know Pete, I think Pete's up next with his creator town hall thing. So here's the stop. Look at that. Stops. Beautiful. Nice stuff. The one last thing, let's just delete these. So you just double click on them to delete them. And let's go back into these loop types, and I'm going to grab a gate. So basically with a gate, when I draw in here, you can actually draw it in, and when I play this, oops, go back to start. Go back to the start. It stops. So I could then go in and put in loop 2 here as a gate as well. Go back to loop 1 and put in a short space in between, like this. Go back to the start. So you can put gaps in there as well. Nice, yeah? It's a wonderful app. Pretty cool stuff, yeah? So I hope this is giving you an understanding of the simplicity and complexity that comes with this wonderful app. Look, it's fantastic. For the price, $10, you're mad to, not use it. It's wonderful. You can, as I said, the opportunities to have multiple sessions, multiple tracks, multiple instruments. I mean, you can, if you go and check out Doug's stream as well, he did a session where he had 16 instruments going. It was unfortunately before some of the bugs were fixed, but you can see the capabilities of it on Doug's stream. So go and check that out as well at the sound test room, because Doug rocks. And yeah, I hope you've got something out of today. As Tom Rochelle has put in here, head over to Pete Johns. He's got his Creator Town Hall up next. So go and check out that. Also remember, they've got 2 copies of this to give away, folks. So just leave a comment. Once the video goes live, we'll give away those 2 copies in a couple of days' time. Tomorrow we're looking at LRC7. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the super chat. I have an idea. You're all awesome people. Keep making mistakes, keep making music, and do the things that make you happy, because you know what? You are all definitely worth it. You're all wonderful folks, and I love you all. So here's a big kiss. See you later. I'll catch you tomorrow. Oh, yeah! Yes, it is iPad only. Thanks, Jamie. Bye.